I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Matt Duchesne of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Justus Aros of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Ryan Johansson of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started on the No Half Step in hockey coverage, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you're good and educated about the show, you click on that merchandise tab. That's going to take you straight to our classic logo tee, our Pride logo t-shirt, and all of our special event t-shirts, including our brand new Home Base Freakout 2 t-shirts that are now in our online store. Also, look, hats. We've got hats in the online store for Home Base Freakout 2. Well, all the other gimmicks you've come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck are also still available in our online store. Don't worry about that. Socks, which I'll be wearing at Home Base Freakout 2. There's also wall art, throw pillows, bed sets, and so many more items. The Renegades of Puck have sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this independent hockey operation, and we sure would appreciate if you would pass along the information for Home Base Freakout 2. That would mean a lot to us. Please, any of the social media platforms would be of incredible help to us. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. You can also find our YouTube channel and subscribe, as many people have been doing recently, and we sure do appreciate everyone watching Renegades of Puck TV. The audio podcast, we're doing great on there thanks to the Full Press Predators and the Full Press NHL network, so we sure do appreciate everyone checking us out on Amazon, Spotify, Google, and numerous other audio platforms. Just search Renegades of Puck in your preferred podcast platform today. Venmo is how you can become a sponsor of the show, and thank you so much. Thanks to generous Renegades just like you watching and listening right now. We have been able to make some significant upgrades here in the bunker, and we sure are appreciative of that. We're looking to upgrade a little bit more of our computer system to make things just a little bit more efficient and our graphics just a little bit better. So please, anything goes a long way to helping this independent hockey operation. Even $1 goes a long way to helping us up, and every single dollar goes to helping the Renegades of Puck. So stick taps, love, and respect to each and every one of you. Home Base Freakout 2. Now listen, I'm wearing the t-shirt. You see the hat right there. There's a flyer over there. There's Tailgate Brewery cans all over the bunker. Tailgate Brewery, Music Row, 1538 de Montbriand. Friday night. We start at 7 o'clock. There is no cover charge. There is no requirements to spend anything. As a matter of fact, all you got to do is bring an ID, show it at the door to make sure you can get in, and no problems after that. We're going to be doing giveaways. We're going to be doing a lot of great things. Rebro Sports has provided a couple of jerseys to give away. We've got some t-shirts. We've got some pucks. We've got some prize packs and other things coming from Stripe Digital Solutions and from Strong Style Fit. So please come on out. Join all of us. Renegades. We need to get together. We need to unite. The hockey community is coming together at Tailgate Brewery. We're going to have really good weather. Might be a little bit rainy in the afternoon, but going to be nice and warm that evening, and we've got everything all set. And for those of you who are curious and may want to delay your arrival because of March Madness, we're going to have March Madness on the TVs for you. That's an easy accommodation we can make. We know that's an exciting time of year for that, and we want everyone at our event to have a good time. So Renegades of Puck, come on out. We will have Sean C. Smith, we'll have Brian Baston, we'll have Jeff Middleton, and so many others. We're going to do some live stuff on the stage there, and we're going to have a great time. Please come on out. Home Base Freakout 2. Everybody remembers how great the event was last year and how many people came out. Well, we're not flexing the Rolodex this year. We don't need to do that twice. We don't need to go back and try to recreate the same event again. We're doing something different. We're getting the Renegades all together. Come out and meet the Renegades of Puck Hockey Club members as well. Sure to appreciate each and every one. I'm sure to appreciate each and every one of you. Come on out. Now, man, I know it is time for No Half Step in hockey coverage. So let me deliver the goods. It's operation number 733 for the Renegades of Puck. I see it now. Time for operation number 733 for the Renegades of Puck. Now, at this moment in hockey history, as we're heading into Home Base Freakout 2, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 5th place in the Central Division. They skated in 69 games. Nice. They have a record of 35, 26, and 8. That's good for 78 points on the season. They have a home record, which is where their next game will take place, of 17, 12, and 4. On the season, they've scored 198 goals. They've given up 205 goals against. That's a goal differential of -7. Now, let's go over the Central Division because we need to keep up on these things. But let's then talk about the most important race, which is the wild card for the Nashville Predators, which they are still very much alive in after tonight's action. The Minnesota Wild are in first place in the Central Division. They have 90 points. The Dallas Stars have fallen to second with 89 points. Colorado Avalanche in third with 88 points. So 3 teams top of the Central Division separated by 2 points. Then, big drop off, the Winnipeg Jets at 83 points, and then the Nashville Predators at 78. St. Louis is currently at 68. Arizona is at 65, and the Chicago Blackhawks have the Little League next, and they're eliminated. They have 54 points. Now, the wild card in the Western Conference, currently led by the Nashville Predators' next two opponents. That's right, a two-game series against the Seattle Kraken coming up. Seattle has 85 points after securing their victory tonight over Dallas. Winnipeg holds the second wild card spot with 83 points. They also picked up a victory tonight. The Calgary Flames picked up a victory over the Anaheim Ducks, so they sit one spot behind Winnipeg, just on the outside looking in at 79 points, 4 points back. Then the Preds are behind Calgary with 78 points. The Preds have skated in 3 fewer games than the Calgary Flames. The Preds have also skated in 3 fewer games than the Winnipeg Jets and sit 5 points back. So we are very much in the same scenario that we were in for the last couple of days. The Nashville Predators just need to continue trying to take care of their business. Going to be very difficult against the Seattle Kraken, but an 8-point swing is what could potentially be on the line between the Preds and the Kraken. So if the Preds are able to somehow sweep the Seattle Kraken in the next 2 games, so the Preds would find their way up to 82 points, and Seattle would remain at 85 points. That would put the Nashville Predators within reasonable striking distance of both wild card teams. So a lot on the line coming up for the Nashville Predators. So that's an update on the standing Central Division and the wild card. So now let's talk about the Nashville Predators Seattle Kraken 2-game series, and it's split in the middle by Home Base Freakout 2 on Friday night, and the Pekka Rinne statue unveiling on Saturday morning on the Plaza. So, Nashville Predators against the Kraken on Thursday night, Home Base Freakout 2 on Friday. Saturday, the statue unveiling on the Plaza, and the Seattle Kraken in an afternoon matinee game. Sunday, the Toronto Maple Leafs are in town. So, that is one hell of a 4-day hockey stretch for everyone here in the Middle Tennessee area. And the Nashville Predators will be back on the road next Tuesday in Boston, wrap up the month of March in Pittsburgh. Now, the series between the Kraken and the Nashville Predators, they've skated one time against each other this year. They'll go back-to-back right now, but it was back on November the 8th when the Preds went into Seattle for their one and only visit this year, and they lost 5-1. It was Eberle with 2 goals, Burkowski with a goal and an assist, and Forsberg had the only goal for the Nashville Predators. UC Saros pulled early in that game, only 2 out of 6, one of his easily worst performances of the entire season. Now, before we talk about the Kraken and the matchup and the numbers specifically, we need to update Nashville Predators' injury situation because, well, it has been getting worse. But at least there was one bright spot. McDonough came off the injured list and moved back into the roster, and we'll talk about his performance in just a couple of minutes. But the captain, Roman Josi, did not make the trip to New York or Buffalo. They're both in New York. I am aware of that, but I'm talking about the New York Rangers and the Buffalo Sabres. Did not make the trip to either of those games. Philip Forsberg is still listed as day-to-day. Parson Carrier still listed as day-to-day. Johansson is out for the remainder of the season. Now, the Seattle Kraken, I mentioned already, they're placed in the wild card race with 85 points, but in the Pacific Division, they currently hold the 4th spot. They have a record of 39-24-7, 85 points overall. On the road, though, I want you to pay attention to this highly impressive number in case you're getting any delusions of how the weekend may go. 23-9-3. 23 victories on the road this season for the Seattle Kraken. They have a goal differential of plus 18. Now, it has been a mix of results in their last stretch of 5 games. As we always like to go back and talk about that sample size. On the 11th of March, it was a 4-3 overtime loss. And you're going to hear Dallas a lot in this situation. It was a 4-3 overtime loss versus Dallas back on March 11th. On the 13th, a 5-2 loss versus Dallas. On the 16th, a 2-1 overtime win at San Jose. Followed it up on the 18th with a 6-4 loss versus Boston. And then most recently, meaning just a few minutes ago, they wrapped up a 5-4 overtime victory at Dallas. So the Kraken have played the Dallas Stars in 3 of their last 5 games. That is significant competition for them to going up against, up and down, all over the place on the score sheet. 4-3, 5-2, 2-1, 6-4, and 5-4. So I have no idea what's going to happen. I know the Kraken are a hell of a good road team, and they've got a very good offense, and that's reflected in their rankings in the season. 4th best goals for in the season, 3.50, while the Nashville Predators sit at 26 in the league, 2.81 goals per game. In the goals against category, the Nashville Predators Predators 2.94 is 12th, while the Kraken 3.20 is 17th. Shots for the Nashville Predators are generating 30.2 shots per game. That's 23rd. Well, guess what? Seattle also generating 30.2 shots per game. That's exactly tied with the Preds, but the Preds give up an incredible amount of shots. The Preds give up 33.2 shots against per game. That's 27th in the NHL. I want you to compare this to the Seattle Kraken shots against, 27.7 per game. That's third best overall in the entire league. When it comes to special teams, you're not going to find an impressive power play in either of these matchups. The power play for the Preds, 18.1%, is 26th overall in the league, 38 out of 210 power play opportunities. The Kraken are 23rd power play in the NHL. They've converted 39 times on 202 opportunities, or 19.3%. When it comes to the penalty kill, the Kraken's penalty kill, not very good. Giving up 52 power play goals against in the season, 74.4% is their kill rate. 27th is their NHL ranking. The Nashville Predators, though, impressive penalty kill as of late. 11th overall in the NHL now for the season. They've given up 42 power play goals against in the season. They have a kill rate of 81.7%, and it's been relied upon quite a bit as of late, and they have been finding a way to come through. When it comes to individual statistics for each of these teams, we all know every team in the NHL has plenty of high-skilled individuals. We like to take a look at the top 5 individual scorers for each team. Let's start with the visiting Seattle Kraken first. Dunn leads the Kraken in total points with 57. The breakdown is 13 goals and 44 assists. The 44 assists represents the number 1 overall on the team in that category. McCann, 34 goals. That represents the high for goals scored on Seattle at 22 assists. That for 56 points, second overall on the team. Eberle at 16 and 38 for 54. Beniers 19 and 30 for 49. And Yanni Gourde 11 and 32 for 43 points on the season. Martin Jones in net, a record of 24, 12, and 3, but the rest of his numbers not very good. 887 save percentage, 3.06 goals against average, but a very impressive win-loss record at 24, 12, and 3. Obviously, that means the goaltender perhaps not so great, but the team in front of him is considerably good. Now, for the home team, Nashville Predators, still led by the captain, Roman Josi. Not sure if he is going to be in this game. He did miss the last 2 games. Was said that he was getting potentially very close to being back in the lineup. Not sure if that means Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Not sure exactly what that means. We have also heard that with Philip Forsberg. In the stats area, Roman Josi still leads the team in scoring, 18 goals and 41 assists for 59 points. The 41 assists is the overall team lead in assists. Matt Duchene has now solo claimed the goals lead for the Nashville Predators, now with 21 on the season, eclipsing Philip Forsberg. It was mighty goal drought for Matt Duchene now, but 2 in this most recent game moves him up to 21. 33 assists for 54 points. Philip Forsberg still listed as day-to-day. Would love to see him back on the lineup. With all this youth and all this exuberance and enthusiasm, Forsberg scoring punch sure could help a lot. 19 goals, 23 assists for 42 points. Tommy Novak, 14 and 18 for 32 points on the season. Colton Sissons 11 and 16 for 27. UC Saros now 27th victory of the season with his most recent win. 19 and 7 is the rest of the records. So 27, 19 and 7, a 9.17 save percentage, a 2.76 goals against average. So UC Saros continues putting up very good numbers for this Nashville Predators team. That's got you all set up for the Nashville Predators versus the Seattle Kraken. We've got the Rebirth Sports full game recap coming up next, right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to March the 21st of the year 2023 when the Nashville Predators were in Buffalo to take on the Sabres, and John Hines deploys his lines in the following way. Tomasino, Glass, and Duchene make up your first line. Sherwood, Novak, and Evangelista make up your second line. Trenton, Sissons, and Smith. Afanaseyev, Jankowski, and Asplund make up your fourth line. Your defensive pairings, McDonough back in the lineup, and that is great news for the Nashville Predators' thin defensive core. Fabro also a part of the first D pair. Barry and Gross, Luzon, and Foote make up the rest of your defensive pairings, and UC Saros gets the starting net against the Buffalo Sabres. 3:11 into the first period. It's Craig Anderson coming up with the first save of the game. That's on Luke Evangelista, plus Tommy Novak's follow-up. Again, that was the first shot on goal. It took over 3 minutes to kind of get through the feeling out process. 4:29 of the first period. Saros comes up with a save on Quinn's long shot. 4:59. McDonough's off to the box. 2 minutes for delay of game. Knocked the puck out of midair and directly over the glass into the crowd. That is a penalty. Saros comes up with a save on Skinner during the penalty kill. Nashville Predators strong overall while shorthanded. 9:14 of the first period. Anderson comes up with a save on Novak at close range. But 11:45, Tomasino's fourth goal of the season gets the Nashville Predators on the board. It's 1-0 in favor of the Preds over the Buffalo Sabres. It was Matt Duchene's stop that opened up the passing lane, and the knuckler from the circle of Tomasino gets into the net past Anderson. Again, Tomasino's fourth goal of the season gives the Preds a 1-0 lead in Buffalo. 14:42 of the first period. Thompson off to the box. 2 minutes for holding. Anderson would come up with a save on Luke Evangelista's deflection at the top of the crease. Then Craig Anderson would come up with another save on Luke Evangelista. 18:27 of the first period. Saros comes up with a save on Thompson at close range. 18:43. Matt Duchene scores his 20th goal of the season. It was with glass down behind the net that Tomasino makes a pass over to Duchene, and Duchene puts the puck into the back of the net. Scary situation to see Glass down for as long as he was. Nashville Predators take 2-0 lead. Glass would be helped to the bench, but would return shortly after. And we end the first period right here with the Nashville Predators leading 2-0, out shooting the Buffalo Sabres 12-5. 51 seconds into the second period on the clean sheet of ice. It's Saros. He comes with a save on Olofsson's on the breakaway. 1:14 and Jankowski off the box. 2 minutes for hooking an outstanding PK by the Nashville Predators. But shortly after that PK wraps up, 3:36, Kuznetsov scores his 27th goal of the season, putting Buffalo on the board. It was Saros coming up with a save on Peterka's first shot, but the rebound is put back and into the net. Nashville now holds a 2-1 lead in Buffalo, but as soon as I can finish writing down that note, we hit the 4-minute mark, so just 24 seconds later. That means I write pretty quick. Tommy Novak's 14th goal of the season also comes off of a breakaway sprung by Evangelista's touch pass that gives the Nashville Predators a 3-1 lead. So we get back their 2-goal lead immediately with Tommy Novak's 14th goal of the season. At 4:02 of the second period, Thompson and Sherwood off the box, 5 minutes each. Sherwood challenging Thompson for the earlier hit in the game on glass. Fight didn't last very long, but it certainly got the message across. 4:57 of the second period, Matt Duchene appears to score a goal right here. As a matter of fact, he does put the puck in the net, but is challenged for offsides. There is no goal. There's simply too much else going on this period to spend much time on that, but the play was ruled correctly. It was offsides. 6:19 of the second period, Anderson is off to the box. No, he's not off to the box, but he gets a penalty, 2 minutes for tripping. One of the players for the Sabres would serve his minor penalty. Saros, though, has to come up with the shorthanded save on Tuck after a turnover. The rebound poke really went a long way to helping the Nashville Predators get out of trouble in this situation. The Nashville Predators do absolutely nothing on their power play. At 9:21, though, after the power play, Luke Evangelista's fourth goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 4-1 lead. He hits the Flamingo pose, and the wrist shot off of the rush. Tommy Novak's the one who set the play up, and by the Flamingo pose, one of my all-time favorites, Mark Messier. Before that, Mike Gartner used to always kick that leg up in the air just before firing that wrist shot. It's the Flamingo pose, and I absolutely love seeing it. The cult of Evangelista continues to grow. 4-1 in favor of the Preds, and then just seconds later, 10:01 of the second period, it's Luke Evangelista again, now his fifth goal of the season, his second goal of the period, his second goal in the last minute. It's a backhand on the breakaway. He handled the bouncing pass from Sherwood. This showed some high-level focus and hands on this play right here by Luke Evangelista, giving the Nashville Predators a 5-1 lead on the breakaway. 12:19 in the second period, UC Saros comes with a save on Skinner on the 2-on-0, almost a 3-on-0 after a turnover in the neutral zone. They were in clean. UC Saros coming in with a massive save right here. 14:11 of the second. Saros comes with a save on Dahlin's long shot. 15:52. McDonough's second goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 6-1 lead over the Buffalo Sabres. There was nothing fancy or spectacular about it, other than the fact that it ended up in the back of the net. That's always fancy and spectacular at the NHL level. It was a wrist shot through traffic from the circle, but again, a rather pedestrian goal considering the high skill of the league. That was it for Anderson right there. The coaching staff didn't need to see anymore. 14 out of 20. Luukkonen is in relief. 16:46 of the third period. Now with the Predators leading 6-1. It's Dante Fabro off the box, 2 minutes for hooking. Colton Sissons immediately then off the box, 2 minutes for throwing equipment. This leads to a 5-on-3 for 144, but let me slow down and back up for a minute. UC Saros lost his stick immediately at the beginning of the penalty kill, and Sissons, just reacting, tried to play the stick with his stick back to UC Saros. That, of course, is illegal in the NHL. That is a 2-minute penalty. So, again, that was called correctly, just in case you aren't familiar with that. We don't see penalties for throwing equipment very often. So for the Nashville Predators, they find themselves shorthanded, 5-on-3. Fabro, Sissons both in the box. It's a minute and 44 off of 5-on-3, but it's only going to take seconds for Thompson to score his 43rd. It was an absolute bomb of a one-timer, making the game now 6-2. That means we're now at a 5-on-4 manpower situation in favor of Buffalo. Saros comes up with a save on Tuck. The Preds are able to survive. 19:52 with a second. Saros comes up with a glove save on Krebs after a turnover. We hit the end of the second period. Nashville out shooting Buffalo 20-19, leading the game though 6-2. An incredibly high event second period in Buffalo. We're into the third period now. 1:28 in. Saros comes up with a save on Jost from the high slot. 3 minutes in. Luukkonen comes up with a save on Evangelista at 4:31. Jokiharju is off the box 2 minutes. And then we're going to see Luukkonen come up with a save on Tomasino, and then Luukkonen coming up with a save on Trennan right there as the power play is expiring. We flip it over to the back of the sheet to complete the third period. I told you, high event game in Buffalo, at least the second period and beyond. At 7:45 of the third period, it's Skinner coming up with his 30th goal of the season. It was an absolute pass and clearing attempt that was intercepted and then directed through the scramble and into the net. Nashville now leads 6-3, but Buffalo is still hanging around. 8:31 of the third period. Saros comes up with a save on Cousins. 13:38. Luukkonen comes up with a save on Tomasino off of the rush. 16:52. We go to the empty net scenario, and Matt Duchene's cashing in from the red line for his 21st goal of the season. Empty net goal just beyond the red line puts this game away for the Nashville Predators. 7-3 is your final. So the Preds give up 7 at MSG, going to Buffalo and score 7, and they split the 2-game road trip now on their way back to Nashville for a significant weekend of hockey. The shots on goal in this game end up being in favor of the Buffalo Sabres, 31-27, but the Nashville Predators did exactly what they had to do. They got out to the lead in this game, and then they just kept expanding that lead throughout the game. Considering what we saw at Madison Square Garden the other day, a victory would have been enough, but to come out in a convincing fashion and to win the way the Nashville Predators did tonight, this was very important. And the Nashville Predators are still realistically alive in the wild card race in the Western Conference, so good job picking up the 2 points, but it was way more important than that to see the commitment to defense, the commitment to detail in the game tonight, and the getting to the hard areas and finishing, just the finishes on some of these plays. The Nashville Predators, truly a great performance against the Buffalo Sabres, a team that is in exactly the same position as they are over in the Eastern Conference, trying to keep their playoff hopes and their season alive and continuing to play meaningful hockey with a fairly young roster. But there's some truly, truly talented players on the Buffalo Sabres. They're going to be a tough out in the Eastern Conference in the next couple of years if they continue on the trajectory upwards that they're currently on. They don't seem to quite be there yet, and Craig Anderson, he's not really a full-time goaltender anymore in the NHL. Getting a spot start tonight, just could not get anything done against the Nashville Predators. Only 14 out of 20 before getting pulled. UC Saros comes up with the victory. Nashville Predators get a victory. They'll head back to Nashville now to face off against the Seattle Kraken 2 times before they face off against the Maple Leafs. Don't forget, home base freakout coming up Friday. So we've got Thursday, Nashville versus Seattle. Friday, home base freakout. We've got Saturday, Nashville versus Seattle, plus the Pekka Rinne statue unveiling. Sunday, Nashville Predators versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's going to be one hell of a hockey weekend. We've got the Renegades of Puck all in the trenches coming up next, and we got full analysis coming up on this game and everything going on with the playoff races right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
UC Saros was 28 out of 31 in this game. He stopped a breakaway of 1-0. He stopped a breakaway on 2-0. And you know what? He even picked up an assist in this game. A really good job and a solid job by UC Saros. He came in relief and did admirable against the New York Rangers, even though they had shut it down at MSG largely by the time he had come in the game. In this game, though, the Buffalo Sabres certainly fighting for their playoff life, and UC Saros was up to the task tonight. 28 out of 31 in this game, and felt that he was very solid picking up the victory for the Nashville Predators team. Luke Evangelista, the cult of Luke continues building. 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points, 7 shots on goal. That's right, 7 shots on goal. Incredible. The touch pass that he made to help spring a breakaway. The finish that he showed around the net to corral a bouncing puck and put it in. And also all of the other plays that he made in this game. He was all over the place. He was absolutely the standout star in this game. Luke Evangelista continues progressing, continues doing great things so far in his early NHL career. Tommy Novak also continues doing great things. A goal, assist, 2 points, 4 shots on goal in this game. Again, Tommy Novak is just a consistent professional performer and proving every single game why he deserves to stay at the NHL level and to also gain plenty more ice time going forward. The coaching staff clearly has plenty of trust in Tommy Novak, and you should. He's very, very solid out there in virtually all situations that he gets the opportunity to skate in. Another youngster doing great things out there, Philip Tomasino in this game. A goal and an assist, 2 points for Tomasino as well. 6 shots on net for Philip Tomasino. Again, another young player taking advantage of an opportunity right here. You wanted to see how players were going to respond after losing 7-0 against the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden. What you see is Evangelista, Novak, Tomasino all stepping up and showing that they were up to the task and up to the challenge of answering and responding to that huge loss against the New York Rangers. So Evangelista, Novak, Tomasino, all multiple point games, but Matt Duchene finally breaks his scoring drought and officially takes over the team lead in goals, now 21 on the season. Matt Duchene had just been in an incredible drought for the last 9 games. 2 goals and assists in this one, 3 points. One of the goals was an empty netter, but Matt Duchene highly noticeable out there in his 14:35 in time on ice against the Buffalo Sabres. Great to see Matt Duchene getting back on the scoreboard. Usually, once he gets one, he starts to get a couple, and getting the empty netter is also going to go to help building his confidence. So Matt Duchene, 3 points in this game. Ryan McDonough back in the lineup. Got to talk about him out there on the blue line. It was a definite difference having him back in the lineup. Nashville Predators defense corps was so depleted at Madison Square Garden. It was incredibly difficult for them to mount a reasonable defense, and obviously they lost 7-0 in this game, though, led by Ryan McDonough, who picks up a goal and an assist, not known as a scoring defenseman or necessarily an offensive threat. 2 points in this game, though, and he was very, very good in his 17:08 in time on ice, returning from injury. Again, a steadying force, a professional defenseman, a defenseman's defenseman, if you will, and another great job by Ryan McDonough out there on the rink for this Nashville Predators team. Great to have him back in the lineup. Now, let's talk to Sean C. Smith. He's got some analysis opinions about this game coming up. You can catch his work at A to Z Sports. You can watch him right here at Renegades of Puck TV. You can follow him on Twitter at SCSNSH. He is the one and only Sean C. Smith. Catch Sean at Home Base Freakout coming up Friday night at Tailgate Brewery.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean Smith, and we're going to talk about this outstanding, incredible, and rather enjoyable win by the Nashville Predators over the Buffalo Sabres. That's right. They won with a score of 7-3. That's what you want to see. You want to see the team put up big numbers. I don't know you're going to get a lot of opportunities to see that coming up soon because the Preds literally face murderer's row of teams coming up here pretty quick, and it's not going to be pretty. Now, Sabres are obviously a pretty good team, but I want to say this, and this is, there's really no good way to put this, but for the moment, as I record this, which was probably going to be null and void by the time you watch it, I'll say that, is that the Predators are only 3 points behind the Winnipeg Jets. Now, of course, the Winnipeg Jets are playing the Arizona Coyotes. They're up 2-1. Seems likely that they'll probably pull out the win. It would be really cool if they somehow managed to lose to one of the worst teams in the NHL, like Predators found a way to do. But maybe they can do that and the Preds can stay within 3 points. But when we talked about the strength of the remaining schedule, this is the thing we're talking about. The Predators are facing the best of the best from here on out for the rest of the season. The Jets they're not facing them. They're playing the Coyotes. They get to play the Sharks. They're playing some really rough teams. And that's the thing, is that as much as I want to be positive and say, hey, look, 7-3 win, be excited, and you should be excited about the win. We'll talk about the reasons for that here in a minute. But you also have to face the reality that doesn't necessarily mean that the Jets are going to go on a losing streak against the worst teams in the NHL, and the Preds are going to go on a hot streak against the best teams in the NHL. So that's your little bit of dose of reality. But here's the thing. Let's talk about the win. Let's talk about the guys out there playing hockey. Right now, you're in a unique situation. You called for the end of the David Poile era. You called for massive changes, and you had those massive changes happen. A lot of guys are gone. A lot of contracts are gone. A lot of spaces opened up cap-wise for this team that wouldn't have been open otherwise. But here's the thing. For the rest of the season, you're kind of in this no man's land. It's, the trade deadline's over. You can't pull players from other teams. You can bring up your guys from Milwaukee, sure. But you can't pull players from other teams. You got to just go with what you've got in your system. So you're getting a really good chance to see the youth of this team. And these guys, believe it or not, some of them are fighting for a contract for next season. You've got your Novaks who already have a contract for next season. But you've got a lot of other guys out there like Kiefer Sherwood, what's the Jankowski's out there. I mean, he doesn't have anything guaranteed for next season. As far as I know, I'm probably going to be wrong, and we can look this up and talk about how dumb I am and didn't do my research. But the reality here is some of these guys are playing for their next contract. Some of these guys are showing you what they're going to be able to do for this Nashville Predators team. As you watch the rest of the season, you're getting a really good chance to see the guys. This is what they are. This is what they have to offer. And based on what they have to offer, that's how Barry Trotz can start to pull his team together and make plans for next season. Who can he go after in free agency? What kind of deals does he want to sign? How does he want to get this reset, rebuild, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. How does he get this thing going the right way? Based on what he's seen out of the players he has, and you've got to think that he's got to like what he's seeing out of Tommy Novak, out of Philip Tomasino, out of Cody Glass, out of Luke Evangelista. Yes, they may be young. Yes, some of them may have been sent back to the AHL or played in the AHL for a while, but these are guys that are coming in and contributing, and not just contributing because there's nobody else. These are guys that are coming in, playing minutes on the top lines, and putting on a really solid performance every night. Based on that, how does he round this roster out, assuming that everyone can come back fully healthy next season, and make a solid effort at getting this team back off on the right foot? And how quickly can this team get back to being a contender without having to go through multiple years of the dumps? That's what you're watching for the rest of the season. I don't think it's going to end up in heading to the playoffs. I'm sorry if you want to call me negative for that, but that's not where I think it's going. But you're getting a chance to see the beginning of what the future could be for this team. And honestly, you have to think next season you're going to see it with Philip Forsberg. You're going to see it with Roman Josi. You're going to see it with Ryan Johansson. You're going to see it with a lot of guys coming back healthy. Alexander Carrier. These are all contributors to the Predators' offense and defense, and those guys aren't even here right now. So buckle up, enjoy the rest of the season. There's not a lot of it left, and hope that this is a preview of bigger things to come. Charlie, Renegades, that's all I got. Charlie, I'm going to send it back over to you.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions. taking a look inside the box score, and there's a lot. There is a lot to take a look at on the box score from this game. Nashville Predators secure that victory over the Buffalo Sabres. Let's start with your goal scores. Of course, we had two Nashville Predators with 2 goals each. Matt Duchene and Luke Evangelista each with 2 goals. Tommy Novak picks up a goal. Philip Tomasino picks up a goal. And Ryan McDonough also picks up a goal in this game. When it comes to assists, Luke Evangelista also leads in this category with 2. Matt Duchene chips in 1. Tommy Novak with 1. Sherwood with 1. And Tomasino also with 1 on the defensive side of things. Barry picks up an assist. Luzon picks up an assist. And Ryan McDonough also picks up an assist in this game. Highly impressive spread on the amount of points the Nashville Predators were able to put up in this game. When it comes to shots on goal, Luke Evangelista also leading in this category. 3 consecutive categories that he has led in this game. Highly impressive for how young and green he is at the NHL level. Just highly impressive stuff. 7 shots on goal in this game. Philip Tomasino right behind him, though, there with 6, and Tommy Novak with 4. Those 3 players just absolutely dominant in this game. And Matt Duchene had 2 goals in the game, only 3 shots, so scored on 66.7% of shots. That's a hell of a shooting percentage for one game for Matt Duchene. When it comes to block shots, well, the Nashville Predators did not exactly pile up a lot of block shots in this game. It is Cal Foote who leads the team with 2, and as a matter of fact, it's pretty sparse to see any block shots really throughout the roster for the Nashville Predators. Just a lot of 1s. When it comes to hits in this game, the physical play, it was obvious at times. Cole Smith was definitely a factor in that category, and 4 hits led the Nashville Predators. Afanasyev had 3 hits in this game. That was second on the team, and Dante Fabro had 2 hits. Again, Dante Fabro playing maybe some of the best hockey. Listen, he still has moments out there, but he has been playing better and more consistent hockey as of late than he has at any point in time in his career. So for the Nashville Predators, their defense core solidifies a little bit there tonight. When it comes to the time on ice leaders, Colton Sissons led the Nashville Predators forwards in time on ice at 17:45 total skated. Cole Smith at 17:13 was second. The least amount of time on ice out there tonight was Asplund at 11:59. So the Nashville Predators did a good job rolling all 4 lines in this game, and Sherwood had a fight in this game and also managed to log 12:08 in time on ice. Good effort by him out there in this game. Impressive stuff. And Sherwood also picks up an assist. Time on ice leader for the entire game. And of course, it comes on the defensive side of things, and it was Luzon. 20 minutes and 11 seconds. And again, picks up an assist. He was a +3 in this game. You've got to start giving him a little bit more credit. He's really stepped up in the absence of a lot of Nashville Predators regular defensemen ever since Borowiecki went out of the lineup, and then the trade of Ekholm, now Carrier and Yossi being out of the lineup. This definitely has been an opportunity for Luzon to step up, and he has very much done so. Again, that is turning into a better and better trade all the time for the Nashville Predators, an underrated trade perhaps. Now, when it comes to the goaltending situation, UC Saros was 28 out of 31, and picked up an assist in this game. Failed to mention that when I was mentioning the assists. So, UC Saros, outstanding effort tonight, picks up the victory. That's going to do it for the box score. Brian Baston taking the show off. Brian did some incredible work with his special commentary on the last episode. I encourage each and every one of you to go back and check out Brian's special commentary. You can find it on our YouTube channel. It has been isolated and put on Brian's playlist, and we have also promoted it out on all of our different social media platforms. So please check out Brian's special commentary. Brian will be at Home Base Freak Out. We are setting something up that's very fun where you're going to get ask the Renegades of Puck questions. We're basically going to do a live show of the Renegades of Puck right there at Tailgate Brewery at Home Base Freak Out 2. Brian's going to be a part of that. Sean's going to be part of that. Jeff Middleton is going to be a part of that, and there are others. You'll just have to come on out and check it out. Home Base Freak Out this Friday, and you can see Brian there. So Brian will be back in the trenches with us over the course of the Seattle series in the next couple of days. Back to close things out right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. Back in just a second. I'm Crazy Charlie Saunier, captain of the Renegades of Puck. I'm also tired of the cold, tired of the dark, and tired of being landlocked. I'm also willing to bet that I'm not the only one who could use some sun, fun, and time in paradise with friends. That's exactly why I called our great friend Pete Weber. He told me, call Ships and Trips Travel, and now we're all going to Mexico. That's right, Renegades of Puck, July 15th to the 20th of 2023. Dreams Vallarta Resort in Puerto Vallarta is the destination to hang with Pete Weber in paradise. To join Pete and the Renegades of Puck in Puerto Vallarta, go to www.shipsandtripstravel.com. That's shipsandtripstravel.com and just click on the ROP on vacation tab. Don't stay landlocked. Join the Renegades of Puck in Paradise, July 15th to the 20th, 2023 in Porto Vallarta. Pete Weber, the Renegades of Puck, and you. It's time to ditch those skates for flip-flops and fun in the sun. It's a huge weekend coming up, and I'm going to go ahead and say it right here. Holy shit, it's a big weekend coming up. The Nashville Predators are in direct competition for the remaining wild card spot with the Seattle Kraken and the Winnipeg Jets and the Calgary Flames. Well, the Seattle Kraken will be here for 2 games, Thursday and Saturday. The Pekka Rinne statue unveiling on Saturday morning on the Plaza. They've already buried the time capsule and everything. The festivities is going on for that. Preds and the Maple Leafs on Sunday, and of course, home base freakout. Tailgate Brewery right there. How can you miss it? We've been talking about it nonstop for weeks here on the show. Home base freakout 2 is going to be incredible. We're not looking to flex the Rolodex. We did that last year. We put so many names on the poster. We ran out of space to promote the actual event, the location, all the other things. So this year is not about flexing the Rolodex. This year is about each and every one of us coming together. All of the Renegades of Puck are going to be in attendance. We are going to have special guests. There will be people there that you will definitely recognize. Crazy Kyle's coming. You know Crazy Kyle. People and Renegades from all over the place are coming to the event. I hope that you'll come out and join us. It is all ages. There is no cover charge. There's no drink minimum, nothing like that. The Renegades of Puck will have a brand new beer on tap during the event, and we will also have frozen drink specials, pizza specials. We'll have live entertainment. We'll have giveaways. Rebirth Sports has provided a couple of jerseys to give away. I've got a couple of t-shirts to give away. Stripe Digital Solutions has got some prize packs they're going to be giving out and handing out along the way. We've got some pucks. You see a whole stack of pucks over here that we're going to be giving away. It's great. It's going to be awesome. Just come on out and enjoy a fun night out with the hockey community. I've been hitting the rinks. I've been passing out flyers. The flyer that you see right over there at the edge of the frame. I've been passing those flyers out old school style, going to hockey games, going to rec leagues, going all over the place and hanging them out. I'm trying to bring us all together. I'm trying to build a foundation of positivity. I'm trying to bring our entire hockey community together to do something special. I'm the captain of a hockey team and a podcast, and I live and breathe and die hockey culture, and as a part of the hockey culture here in my area, I want to be one of the pillars of positivity for the hockey community when it comes to Middle Tennessee, and then to go beyond those borders and continue spreading my message. I want to be that first ripple in the water that spreads and continues spreading positivity one ripple at a time, each just going further and further out. We can only do that by getting together, and Friday night's a perfect opportunity. Tailgate Brewery and Music Row is giving us the opportunity to take over their entire venue. They are laying out a spread, and they are providing all the safety and all the security and all of the comfortable features that we need for doing a live show. Last year, hundreds, if not well over 1,000 Renegades showed up for Home Base Freakout 1. It was incredible. But again, I spent so much time flexing the Rolodex, I didn't get to spend nearly enough time with each and every one of you out there, and that's what this is going to be about this year. I want to spend much more time with the Renegades. I want to have more of you out there, and I want to have a whole lot more fun. Looks like we're going to have a very warm evening Friday night, so no worries about that. So make sure you're paying attention to our social media platforms. We'll have more details over the next couple of days leading up to the very, very last minutes, and then you can follow along. If for some reason you can't make it out, you can follow along on all of our different social media platforms for all of the different events that are coming and all of the different things that are happening at Home Base Freakout 2. Please, I cannot wait to see each and every one of you. Please come join us. Please come out and celebrate. Please come and have a fun night out together where we can all start to get to know each other. This used to be a much stronger, tighter hockey community, and I know we still have it in us, and I know that we can continue building it and bringing it back to what it was and then moving it beyond what it was, something completely new. I'm getting all choked up. I'm starting to get emotional. Renegades, this is our time. I'm inviting all of you to a venue so that we can get together and have a party. This has been a message from the captain. Stick taps, love, and respect.